I'm Ted Raddick with the Courier Sports Department, joined as always by Dave Hahnemann and Andy Wolf. Welcome to Chalk Talk, presented by our sponsor, Rhodes State College. We'd ask that you please visit their website at rhodesstate.edu. And we are on to week 7, gentlemen.
Ah, boy, it's going fast.
Yeah. Last week we took an early look at some of the playoff races. Today, let's kind of focus on what's happening with some of the league races around our area. Dave, we'll start with the track, and it all comes down to Friday night. Whitmer and Central Catholic are playing, and you got to figure there's your winner, whoever comes out of that one.
You figure when this league started in 2011, only 3 schools have won the league championship. Findlay got it the year Whitmer had to forfeit all those games. But other than that, it's been Whitmer and Central Catholic every year. They've proven themselves the powers of the league. So, you just expect that year in and year out. And they've accepted that role, and they want to be the top dogs in the league every year.
Right. St. Francis has had a better year. St. John's is hanging in there, but I mean, let's be honest. They're not really players.
Yeah, right. They're just they're the pawns on the giant chess game of the track.
Right.
How's that?
There you go.
Ooh.
Wow, that's deep. Andy,
Yes.
It's a 3-way race for the BVC.
Yeah.
And they all play each other in weeks 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, I've only really seen Lipstick of the 3, but I think coming into the year, we felt Lipstick maybe had the most experience, the most combination of experience and talent coming back. Liberty, or at least proven talent. Liberty Benton was always kind of the dark horse sleeper, but they didn't have a great season last year, kind of marred by injuries. But I don't think anybody's really surprised with how good Liberty Benton has performed with their athletes that they have returning, the sheer size and depth that they can rely on, and then how many people are really surprised with Macomb, with what Macomb's been able to do. We probably felt like they had the most to reload with, just losing so many key guys. Tanner Schrader, not just Tanner Schrader, but Bryce Markle, a lot of huge losses, but yeah.
So
that's all I got.
Lipstick plays LB week 8. Lipstick plays Macomb week 9. LB plays Macomb week 10. Any of those 3 teams, I think, can go into this stretch thinking we can do this.
It's hard to really call. I mean, I've only seen one of those 3 teams, to be honest, but you have to like what Macomb's been able to do. Liberty Benton,
I kind of like the scenario this year. We don't always get this. Where you get to this point in the season, there are some league races. The next 3 weeks are going to decide the league championships. Western Buckeye League is sort of like that. Northwest Conference, I think, is that way a little bit. But, when you're building for a football season, this is kind of what you want. You don't want the title decided in week 7 or 6. This is what I think keeps the intensity up. And then it kind of puts the playoffs on the back burner, because those teams know if I do well for the league, I'm in the playoffs.
Right.
So let's work on that league championship first.
Well, let's talk about the WBL a little bit, Dave. Ottawa Glandorf, in the thick of the race.
Very much in the thick of the race.
But a couple of big games with Kenton and Wapak still.
Wapak.
And, those are big. Those going to be big for the playoffs like you were talking about.
Fortunately, I had the opportunity Friday night. I was off for my son's wedding. But Friday night I had some downtime, and me and the boys in the garage were listening to the Titans play Salina, and they pulled it out. But the thing that really struck me was how many long extended drives Salina had. They had a 10-play drive, an 11-play drive, a 14-play drive, and then when OG went up by a touchdown, Salina got the ball on the 10-yard line and drove 16 plays, 90 yards, and scored with 17 seconds on the clock. They did not convert the 2-point conversion, which is why OG is still unbeaten in the league. But, that gets you thinking. I knew OG had a good defense, but for a team to get that many long, extended drives, that gets you thinking about were they getting tired? Were they worn out? They got too many guys going both ways. I don't know. But
maybe they were playing a halfway decent team.
Yeah, that's true, too. That could be.
The WBL year in and year out is a meat grinder.
It is.
They were on the road back-to-back weeks, too, I believe. Van Wert and Salina, they survived those 2 games. I've got them this week against Shawnee, and it's only going to get tougher with Kenton in week 9 and Wapak in Week 10 for the finale. I think OG's in the driver's seat with a little bit of help when Kenton beat Wapak, and then St. Mary's turns around and beats Kenton last week.
Right.
So OG's the only one at 5-0.
Okay, the Northwest Conference, Andy.
Yes.
Spencerville's sitting on top right now.
They are.
At 3-0.
They've got their 2 key games next, too. Last week was a key game for getting Columbus Grove back into the thick of things. They beat Crestview, proving they're going to be a horse in this race, too. Spencerville, the league is, I think, going to be decided within these next 2 games. Spencerville goes at Crestview and then at Grove, and I think pretty sure Grove and Spencerville, the league hinged on that game last year, excuse me. But, yeah.
Right.
Spencerville is the only unblemished team in the league so far. I believe they've beaten Allen East too, so it's Spencerville. I hate the term "control your own destiny," but Spencerville looks like the team to beat. But let's not count out Grove.
Okay. The Northern 10, I think we can all agree that Seneca East is going to win that. The Northern Buckeye Conference, I think we can agree probably that no one's beaten Eastwood.
Don't think so.
Northwest Central Conference.
That might be the toughest one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's hard to pick.
Yeah. Our Northern's still alive, still very much in the thick of things. Lima Perry's up there. Waynesfield Goshen is up there.
Well, I think Hardin Northern has Sidney Lehman this week, don't they?
Yes.
So there's a pivotal game in how the standings are going to shake out. It's kind of you look at the teams in this league. The 2 teams leading the league, they're unbeaten in the league, and they've not won a single game outside of the league.
Right.
So that tells me this could be wide open up for anybody. On a 3rd or 4th place team has a good night, and they're right back in the thick of the race.
Right. Okay. Well, let's talk about our games coming up this week.
Yeah.
Dave, you'll be on the road this Friday, making that trip I know you loved.
Love that trip to Oregon.
Oregon Clay. Clay really got whacked by Central Catholic last week, but let's give credit where credit's due. This is a 4-2 team.
Right.
They went through a lot of down times, and
Right.
they're going to be looking to get to that 500 mark.
Right.
Against Findlay.
Especially against Findlay, it's a team they feel they can compete very well with in this league. That game with Central Catholic, you're right. They got whacked 60-7, and you think, is that a portrayal of Oregon Clay being overrated, or is that just a situation where Toledo Central Catholic is that darn good?
Probably.
Probably, but I think it's the latter. Because Oregon Clay, the Heinzel kid, the quarterback, Oregon Clay is not gonna pound you onto the ground. They're not a big running team. They don't have a single running back in the top 10 in the league stats, but their quarterback is number 2, and they got 3 receivers in the top 10. They're going to throw the ball. They have to throw the ball. And the teams Findlay has basically done well against this year are running teams. Passing teams have given them trouble. I think it's because of their young secondary, and that could be a big factor on Friday night. The other thing is, the times I've covered Findlay at Clay, Findlay has had horrible starts up there. First quarter, second quarter, they just struggle. I don't know what it is. If it's the surroundings, the Clay's field sits a little odder than most football fields you'd think. It's something. They never get a good start up there, and if they don't get a good start this week, they're going to be in trouble.
All right. One of the things we pride ourselves here on at the Courier is every year we try to get a reporter, a live, breathing reporter at every single team at least one time. Andy, you and I get to finish that up for this year. I'll be at Patrick Henry.
It's pretty early too.
You'll be at OG.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mentioned the stretch that OG has to go with the league pretty much being decided, I think, for them against Wapak and Kenton, but they got to get over this hurdle first. It's kind of phase 1 of these hurdles where right now 3 of their next 4 games are going to be at home. Like I mentioned, they're coming off 2 very tough road wins, which top to bottom, even the middle of the pack of the WBL schools have hung up there with the teams at the top of the league. So there's no real hurdles or cakewalks, but you got to like the home team. For Ottawa Glenor finally getting home after 2 tough wins. I think even St. Mary's, with the addition of that one, they've won 3 games by 14 points. So they might have to survive another one, but they're back at home.
All right. And I get Patrick Henry this week. The Patriots are in the top 10 in the AP poll. They're going to be in the Region 26 playoffs, pretty
they're-
assuredly.
They're not number one in their region yet, are they, or are they?
Lipstick is.
Lipstick still is.
Yep. So, but
You know,
they get Bryan this week. They're gonna pick up the Harbin points by
right.
assuming they beat this Division 4 team. They're gonna be looking good.
They've got a loss, but when you look at how they got it, going for 2 points
Right against Archbold.
against
Yeah.
unbeaten Archbold, I give them all the credit in the world for that, loss or not.
Okay. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for us this week. Please, again, visit our sponsor, Rhodes State College, at rhodesstate.edu, and we'll see you next week.